There it
What's
is.
up? Yeah.
There it is,
All
Sam.
right. Time to push the pod.
Oh, dude. I love that we
This
did a
is.
pre-push already.
Oh, you did. I didn't do that. I'll just retweet yours. How about that?
You retweet my what?
Your pre-push, or you
No, I
didn't do
didn't
a
pre-push.
pre-push.
Nah, I was on Facebook, dude. I pre-pushed on Facebook.
Oh,
Like a
okay.
savage. Did you
Got it.
send it in the Twitter chat?
I did just now.
Yeah, and no one will retweet it
There you
because they're all
go.
fucking assholes.
Yeah, it's true. Vic said, "I gave you the gold. I gave you the golden retweet. Don't say I never did anything for you." He did that
And
once.
then did it once. That's okay. We love them anyway.
Yeah. All right. Let's get it going. We got like 10 people in here
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Let's hop
Three,
in.
2, 1. Philly.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Philadelphia. Welcome back once again to yet another edition of the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. As always, my name is Ryan Conway, and joining me here is my illustrious co-host and wartime consigliere, Sam Glavin. And of course, we have our producer behind the glass, Seamus G, pulling the strings, making things happen for us. Boy, oh boy, has it been a whirlwind of a week in Philadelphia sports for the Liberty Line here at the Liberty Line Podcast Network and the libertyline.com. Got together with some good friends and fellow writer. Sam, you were missed there. Well, you were a
Yeah.
topic of conversation many a
Oh
time.
boy.
All bad things,
Yeah,
as
I
you
was
can
gonna say it couldn't have been
imagine.
anything good. It couldn't have been
Absolutely
anything
not.
but negative. So
Yeah,
that's okay.
all just horrible borderline slurs. But outside of that, we had a great day on Sunday, Sam, earning a lovely win. I guess lovely is not the right word at all,
Not
but
nope, not lovely.
we did take down the Carolina Panthers, and wow, oh wow, was that a time.
That was a bad football game, Ryan. That was a bad football game. I mean, I'll take the W, obviously. I mean,
Yeah.
and Jalen Hurts showed some nuts towards the end of the game there, which is pretty cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess what I have to ask you before we like dive into the nitty gritty of the game, just as a general question, do you after how many games we played? 4 or 5? We played 5 games, I think.
Yeah, 5 games.
We played 5 games. Do you think Jalen Hurts is the guy?
No, not really. I mean, he's okay. He's okay. I mean, but I haven't seen anything that's really blowing me away. But at the same time, right now, in terms of options this team would have, he's the best option we got, and he's my QB1, so I'm rolling with him. I'm going to root for him. But you have to acknowledge his limitations. Anything other than that is dishonest,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not fair to him, and it's not fair to, the fan that feels that way.
Yeah. Where do you see his ceiling? Like I see it as a very high ceiling right now, for Jalen Hurts. I think there's just some very small technical things that he's got to work on. Like the long ball, I think he's got to work on the passing a little bit. But I think that I think rolling out of the pocket too early is another thing where we get all these illegal men downfield penalties. I think those are his two biggest problems right now. I think he does the read option great. The RPO stuff. I think that's been phenomenal. I think that, and we saw it a bunch of times especially in the second half against the Panthers when he ran for that touchdown. He read that beautifully. Granted, it's a pretty bad Panthers defense right now, but
Yeah.
I'm on the up and up with Jalen Hurts right now. I really like him.
No, absolutely. I mean, there were a lot of positive things that he showed throughout the game on Sunday. Uh, namely, just his accuracy more often than not was good, but I mean, on the interceptions,
Yeah.
not ideal. There was that one where it looked like, I mean, the DB was able to do a toe tap on the sideline when he didn't even really need to do it. He had that much room. It looked like a perfect pass to the DB.
Yeah.
So just still kind of, working things out with receivers, hitting them in stride. And I mean, it is a young season. He is a young quarterback. He hasn't even played a full season in the NFL. He has not. So I'm not going to sit here and say he's ass. Now, granted, if I have, watched a fair amount of the game and I've had a couple beers, I may start calling him a high school quarterback because that's what he is. But outside of that, it's more positive than negative for me with Jalen Hurts, although I am a little skeptical about how high that ceiling can be, even with the leadership skills and the athletic ability that he just so very clearly possesses.
For me, it's the grit at the end of the game. You know, like he saw an opportunity, right? So we get that blocked punt, right? And we're really not. It felt like we were down bad that whole game, and then the blocked punt happened, and then everybody looked up at the scoreboard and they were like, "Oh shit, we could win this game if we just turn it on, or just be even like a little bit competent on the offensive side of the ball." And so Jalen Hurts rallied his guys and takes them downfield twice, and they get it done. I like that out of a quarterback. I think that's fantastic.
It's nice to see. And it was nice to see us able to get into the red zone and get those scores at the end of the game when we really needed it. Even though, as usual, Nick Sirianni, but between the 20s, he can move the ball almost at will. Sometimes it feels like the team can move the ball from 120-yard line to the other. But once the field gets shrunk and there's fewer options and less space to operate in, and there's fewer options for what you can actually call, that's when the creativity kind of still goes out the window. But
It's
I have to give him credit. Down the stretch. We've seen a much better Nick Sirianni, at least in the second half of that Panthers game.
I agree. I just am so bad. Like, every time at this point now, every time they get into the red zone, I'm like, they're just going to kick a field goal. And Jake Elliott's going to make his money. And that's that, because they haven't, up until this week, the red zone offense. I would love to see the rankings of like red zone offense in the NFL right now, because like it's got to be terrible for the Eagles right now. I'm not really sure. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But you've seen the Eagles like progressively get better after that horrid Dallas loss. So things are maybe on the up and up. I don't really know. I'm not trying to get my hopes up too much, because we are on a short week right now, and we're gonna play the Bucs, the reigning champs, and I'm not excited about that. So
no, yeah, that is going to be an interesting game, and I am excited to talk to you about that, just because it's a short week. A lot can happen in that short week, and Tom Brady has a bit of a thumb injury. Nothing crazy, been nagging him for years now, so it'll probably be fine. But if we get those Hurt stats up, I do want to just take a look at his efficiency, because he felt efficient to me. And now, granted, down when we're down and you got to throw the ball, I'd rather see this, fewer completions, a bit under 60%, but no, just the one pick that was objectively bad, but just being able to know when the play wasn't there is something that I felt like he was able to really suss out down the stretch. And granted, some of those throwaways, I thought maybe he could have even made a play, but that's kind of the price you'll pay for ball security. And in the end, that's what won out, was ball security.
Well, then that goes along, I think, with rolling out of the pocket. I mean, he does that a lot, and I would rather say, but he does one thing that he does better than Carson Wentz ever did was actually throw the ball away when it's necessary. But he is rolling out of the pocket too early, too often, and we've had so many illegal men downfield penalties right now because of they're not on the same page. He doesn't let the play fully develop. It's not always his fault. I'm not saying that, but they've got to get on the same page, and that's something that's got to get done in practice.
That's true. And one thing too with those, when he holds on to the football like that, a lot of the times with those illegal men downfield penalties, that's because it's a run pass option. So one part of the line is, blocking for the pass. The other part's blocking for the run. They can't read what's going on behind them. So they just got to push downfield. So on those run pass options, Jalen's got to actually just get the ball out quicker. It's not even sitting back and letting the play develop. It's just make your reads. If it's not there, take off.
Yeah.
Almost. That's just what those plays are. That's just how they're designed. That's how they're supposed to be run. So when Andre Dillard had a couple of illegal man downfield issues when he, first came off the bench, to fill in for Mailata, that's when, I was even going to start killing him a little bit. And then, both my better nature and Jack Connell informed me, reminded me of the nature of the run pass option and how that is a quick decision. And so that's what it needs to be. It needs to be a quicker decision. I do still see from Jalen a little bit of hesitancy. The reads are just not at that like top. Like I'm sitting there watching Carolina versus the Eagles, and it looks like I'm watching Penn State, Iowa from the day before. Like that's what it looked like, just in terms of the quality of the quarterback play. And that's no offense to I guess some offense to Jalen because he wants to be an NFL quarterback, not a college quarterback. So, I mean, if he is offended by that, that's okay. But I'm not trying to be a dick. It's just like it wasn't that polished. He's not that sharp. But he does obviously have all of those skills and all that athletic ability. And he is a good quarterback. And I think that he proved that with, like you said, his determination down the stretch as well. His ability to lock in and make those plays. He was, as Seamus G likes to say, stupidly locked in. Down the stretch.
He usually is, man. He usually is. I really like his we talk about it all the time with Jalen Hurts. It's the intangibles, right? Like it's all about his mindset and the way he carries himself on and off the field. And it translates onto the football field and in practice and stuff. And he just looks like he wants to get better. That's all I see out of him. It's just he is all about football. There's nothing you don't see or hear anything about him off the field. He is just straight up football, and I think that could help out the Eagles a lot in terms of maybe finding their guy. I'm not really sure if he is their guy or if they think he's their guy. We're only 5 games in, but I'm liking what I've seen so far. I do. There's definitely room for improvement. I'm not going all Carson Wentz being like, oh my God, he's the guy. Like because I've been down that road before and it didn't work out so well. So I'm going to stay as calm as possible and just be like, I think he's got a lot of room to improve. He's got a high ceiling in my eyes.
That's the thing, man. That's what it's all about. If we can work with him and develop him, then we can really and make something out of him. Because I mean, there's no question that he's willing to work and that he's gonna be that. And this right here on April 29, I'm with that's it exactly. That is exactly how everybody should feel about Jalen Hurts. You want the best for him. You know he's gonna work his ass off, but you do notice the limitations. And that's it. That's it. No one should be calling for Minshew because he's not even active on game days. Nobody should be checking the Flacco meter, or I think it should be called the Flaccometer.
I hate that. I like your term better. It flows a little bit better. But I hate that. I hate seeing it on Twitter. Get it out of my fucking feed. Get it out. It's terrible. Jalen Hurts is the only guy in this team right now. That's it. We got no other options. I don't want to see Flacco. I don't want to see Minshew. I forgot Minshew was even on the squad. Jalen Hurts. It's Jalen Hurts for right now.
Absolutely. He's the best option we've got, and it's a damn good option. And I'm putting all my faith in him. We're going to give him the keys. We're going to give him the full season to work it out. Because this is clearly an inexperienced team. And yes, literally, yes, this is exactly what it is. It's not like, oh, you go get Deshaun Watson. Go get Russell Wilson.
I'm off that boat.
Throw him under center, and then that's going to solve all your issues. Not even close. We have, our offensive line is thinning out. We need all of these picks. There was a point that I thought maybe we could parlay these 3 first-rounders we're going to have in the top 15 probably and turn that into like a stud player. But I don't know if I want that. I think this is a good DB class. I don't think it's a QB class at all, which is why I really want why I really want Jalen to develop. So if he becomes that guy, just like our buddy in the chat here is saying, then we can use those picks to just get young, inexpensive talent to surround him with for 5 years. 3 guys locked in for 5 years. Top 15 talent. Yes.
Easy. And for dirt cheap too.
You do that every time. You do that every time you have a chance. Absolutely. Yep. You'd be a fool not to. You'd be a fool.
Now here, let me play the devil's advocate for a second. Do you trust Howie with 4 picks at very, very high?
Fuck it, right? I mean, how many high picks has he really had? Because the team's been too good. Yeah. I mean, Devontae Smith is panning out.
He's been phenomenal, man.
He's been great.
Fun to watch.
He hasn't had a drop.
Fun to watch.
Had a touchdown. Had another 100-yard receiving game. I mean, this guy's a baller. I mean,
he's had like 2 or 3 touchdowns taken away from him too because of penalties.
Oh my God. And Shavis G is reminding us that the Dolphins gave us that pick, gave us
Yeah.
their pick that's now going to be top 10 for sure. They suck for
Yep.
Jalen Waddle. So they essentially drafted this guy with 2 first-round picks.
Yeah,
You think
dude, that's
about it,
pretty brutal.
that's insane.
That's
Of all
tough, and they
all
don't
the
even
guys
have a
too.
quarterback.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
they did it to appease Tua, who's dead, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I'm pretty sure he's not. Yeah, he's deceased. So,
He hasn't been seen in person in months. I can guarantee you that. Tua
mhm.
Tagovailoa, that was a body double under center the first couple games. Tua is long gone. He is
Yeah, he's
halfway to Guam by now.
that's for sure, man. I don't, but yeah, so I don't. Fuck the Dolphins. They're idiots. So like, I
Exactly.
don't. I'm very happy that they passed up. I thought for sure when they were trading up that they were gonna go get Smith. I thought for sure they were gonna do it, but I guess not.
Yeah.
So
No,
I'm
dude.
happy. I'm happy we got Smith because he's a baller.
He is,
I
dude.
think he is. I mean, he's definitely our wide receiver one this year. But I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
he's going to be our wide receiver one for a long time, which I think is
Absolutely.
good.
And
Hopefully, if he stays healthy, that's still my biggest concern right now with him is that if he stays, he's been healthy throughout the whole these 5 games so far, which is good, but he is one skinny motherfucker, man. He's
mhm.
uh
He
he's
is.
he's the
He
Slim
is.
Reaper.
He is the Slim Reaper. But like whatever, man. He's just open. He's just so open. He
Yeah,
murders people. He murders people. And it's great to have, weapons around Jalen like that are that's just plus talent. Like that's kind of what you need for a quarterback like Jalen, especially right now, early in his development. You want to surround him with as much talent as possible.
mhm.
And and even still, he's shouldering a serious burden in this offense. Uh, we had how many rushing yards? I don't even.
Uh,
It doesn't matter. Not enough. Not enough. I
no,
think
not nearly
91
enough.
rushing
Yeah.
yards,
Mhm.
something like that. That's not enough. That's not enough at all. And most
And
of them were Jalen Hurts. Again, he's leading this team in rushing, and
yeah,
that's a
a third
problem
of
too.
them. A
Yeah.
third of them were if it was 90 something, then Jalen Hurts had like 30. So
Hmm.
that's a third. That's math. Um,
Absolutely. And you
and
take a look at Miles Sanders,
mhm,
and he got more touches. Granted, a lot of them are in the screen game, but he's still getting touches.
yep.
He's still getting touches, and this team does still need to run the ball more. But I am starting to get to a point where I'm like, last week I asked, are they not giving him the ball because they don't really trust him to be that RB1? And now I'm starting to think that might actually be the case because you take a look at Kenneth Gainwell, Kenny G, number 14,
He's been great.
out of Memphis, an absolute animal, an absolute animal. He's scoring touchdowns.
Hmm.
He's he's doing more with the ball in his hands, and he just runs downhill.
Yeah, we got a comment here or a question rather. Let's see.
Yeah.
How do I do that? All right. After these few games, would you feel comfortable having Dillard and at left tackle and Mailata at right tackle moving forward? This stuff with Lane makes me nervous. Plus, he isn't getting any younger. Do we try and shed some cap from Johnson and maybe Brooks and utilize the young guys and Dillard and Dickerson and Driscoll? I don't know. I think Mailata will be fine at right tackle. Just and Dillard is just such a bitch that like he won't even want to go over to right tackle because even though Mailata is obviously the better left tackle, but I think you just have to pick and choose your battles there. So for right now, I guess that's good. I don't know about offloading Lane Johnson. I don't know what's going on with Lane Johnson right now.
Mhm.
There's rumors that he's mulling over retirement. Um, which is sad, and he's got some stuff going on up between the ears right now, and we wish him the best for sure because that's no fun.
Absolutely.
Um, but I don't know about Dickerson and Driscoll. I haven't watched nearly enough of like the offensive line. I mean, I think they've been okay. Like I haven't been totally appalled by our backup line right now. I was talking to my dad last night. Said he was actually pretty impressed with the depth that we have on the O line so far. So I don't know. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah. Dillard at left tackle, my Lotta at right tackle. That's what we got to do right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Grant, we're not given an option, and moving forward, I do get nervous about the injuries with Brandon Brooks and B the age with Lane Johnson combined with the fact that he may not even want to play football anymore. So I mean, if he ends up retiring and we move, then I'm even more comfortable. Then we'll just move on from Brandon Brooks, and then we can work on rebuilding this offensive line. But I do think that if we can maybe hold on a year and get some young guys and get them trained up moving forward, maybe for 2023, that might be wishful thinking though. And I do think what is going to end up happening is what you said here, at least to start having Dillard at left tackle, Mailata right, and end up moving on from Lane and Brandon Brooks, maybe in the offseason or maybe even midseason. If Lane does decide to retire midseason, maybe we look for partners for Brandon Brooks in the trade market or move to shed salary some other way.
Or draft. We got to draft guys too. I mean, that's what we were talking about
absolutely.
earlier, right? Yeah, we got to draft some offensive linemen.
Jeff Stoutland, I mean, he's the key. I mean, he's survived how many head coaches, and he did it for a reason because he can coach up anybody. He took a rugby stud and turned him into like a $10+ million a year left tackle, who's now playing right tackle and doing it pretty well. Not as good as left tackle, but still pretty well. So, I mean, as long as we get him some talent, as long as they're not absolute bums, I'm confident in his ability to turn them into something really, special. Regardless, if it's like 4th round talent and above, Stout can take those guys and turn 2 out of 5 of them into a Pro Bowler, maybe 3.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what we did for most of our linemen. He's been working with, and we've had phenomenal. We've had a phenomenal offensive line for what 10 years now. Like we've always been up there in the top 15, top 10 in terms of offensive linemen.
Yeah.
So as long as Stout is the coach, I think any combination could work. It's just a matter of repetition and repetitions in practice.
Exactly right. Yeah, and when you got and one thing too with the offensive line and its connection to the run game here, it's like I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's maybe Miles isn't hitting the hole or the holes aren't there. I don't know what the problem is because, I mean, even with these injuries, this has been a good offensive line. I think they've been fine run blocking, and they've been almost like excellent in pass protection. So I don't really know what the deal is, why we're struggling to run the ball so much, and if maybe a transition to Kenny G really is the move, or maybe Nick Sirianni will just never run the ball. And defenses will be able to sit back with 7 defensive backs on the field and play however they want.
It didn't seem to be a problem for Kenny G. Seamus G just told us he had 2 carries for 16 yards. I mean, that's 8 yards a carry. I take that every day of the fucking week.
Yeah.
And
when he's getting the ball in the screen game, he's doing more with it than what Miles is doing. I just think Kenny G is a better receiving threat than Miles Sanders. I know when Miles came out of college, he was actually surprisingly good at pass catching. He was graded pretty low coming out of college. And then now I think we're kind of seeing what people thought he would have, like those issues now, which is a little surprising because I always thought he was kind of nice in the screen game. But then you take a look at Kenny G and what he can do. He can line up on the outside. He can, run out of the backfield, make a pass, and he can lay the blocks down too. He can do it. You can be a really good pass blocker. So just in terms of versatility from a running back, Kenny G's got everything you could ask for. He's got a great name. That alone, that alone inspires confidence. So
yeah, I love it. Yeah, I just love having a utility guy like that. He's very, very good. I think he's going to be as long as he keeps doing what he's doing, he'll keep making the roster. I didn't even know who he was when we started, and now he's great. So speaking of guys that I didn't know existed for a while, Travis Fulgham, see ya.
Yeah, later, bud.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Happened there? That was crazy.
Whatever.
Yeah,
like apparently he just stopped trying.
Yeah, I guess. What a loser. I can't.
Yeah, I know.
He had a lot of talent, and you just go and throw it away like that. Idiot. So, I don't even think we talked. Have we talked about the defense yet?
We haven't talked about the defense, and we absolutely have to because they're the only reason we won that game in the first place. I mean, 2 takeaways. Darius Slay should win Defensive Player of the Week. Like, look at this: 18 points allowed, 109 rushing yards, 157 passing yards. What was this? 3 sacks, 3 picks, 3.8 yards per play. And the opposing team still had more possession, and they scored for fewer points than us. Get absolutely rocked.
Yeah, that's a hell of a day. That's an
Get
absolute
absolutely
hell of a
rocked.
day. That's what we need. That's a great turnaround from the last 2 weeks from Jonathan Gannon's defense. That's
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal. And every time I felt like they were gonna get scored on, they shut down in the red zone and they held them to field goals.
That was
That's and
crazy.
that's and that's exactly what you need to do. I mean, they only have that guy Hubbard, or I think that's his name, right? The running back
Chuba
for
Hubbard,
the
yeah.
Panthers. Yeah, he was running all over us for a while. I think most of those rushing yards came from him.
That was so
Um,
frustrating. I was like, it's
and
literally Chubble
yeah,
Bubble or whatever his name is, and he's not that good. He's not
yeah.
that good to be gashing us. So
I
I
know. I
was
was
really
sitting next
concerned.
to
But
yeah,
then
I was sitting next to a guy on my team that has him in fantasy. And I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Like, and he's like, "I got him on my fantasy team. He's gonna keep doing it." I was like,
it's the
"Shut
goat.
up,
No,
get out of here."
screw that.
I
This
know.
right
Yeah,
here.
big play Slay, man. He had a hell of a day. He shut up all those haters. And if our D line can get solid pressure, that zone coverage will get us plenty more 2+ interception days. Hell yeah, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
As long as Javon Hargrave keeps doing what he's doing. Josh Sweat had a pretty decent game too. I thought he got to the quarterback very well.
Yeah,
Fletcher Cox was better,
he
still
was
not
fine.
really.
He was
He was
fine.
better. I barely noticed him anymore though. I don't know. I don't really know why,
He
but
got to the quarterback. They did their nice little, celebration kick, the
yeah.
very synchronized kick. That's really cool. And that's just exactly what this scheme need. Even though Jonathan Gannon says he doesn't have a scheme, which is just asinine because he clearly does.
Yeah.
But like everybody, like you clearly have a scheme. Like
Everybody has a scheme, whether they
you
fucking
have
know it or
to
not. Yeah.
scheme something. You just walk in with no play. Not the point, but we just need this solid, defensive line play to allow this one of the more talented secondaries, I believe, that we've had to generate turnovers. And we saw a big play Slay come out, get 2 picks. Really great play on the first one. Really elevated, went up and got it, came down with it. And we still only got a field goal, which was incredibly
Mhm.
frustrating. But
Yeah.
it was nice to see him shut the haters up a little bit. But it was also really annoying to see people, especially in the national media or people from Philly that are just dumb and don't know anything about football, say,
Mhm.
"Oh, the Eagles have been waiting for this since they signed him." I'm just like, dude, he's been a shutdown corner, an elite corner in this league since before we got him, when we got him, from then until now. He has been exactly what this team has needed. He's been burnt for over 100 yards literally twice, and it was against the top 2 receivers in the league at that point when he was playing them. So it's not that people talked about how Big Play Slay is not that good. Oh, he sucks in Philly. It's like either you don't watch the games or you're just dumb. Uh, that's just the way it is. People are starting to call him like moderately like sized play Slay or like chunk play Slay,
Whatever.
and it's like literally no, like that is incorrect.
He's been fine. He's been
He's
great,
he's
actually.
been great. He's been
Yeah.
he's been. I mean, there were plenty of games where he's been fine, but he's been great in the majority of games. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
one thing that really helped the team here was our third downs, obviously on defense, 5 for 15 on third down, and our ability to not get stupid penalties on third and long that would shorten them, or on
Mhm.
third and short that would just give them the free first down. Derek Barnett was able to stay out of trouble, and that see, it's amazing when just like dumb shit doesn't happen, and you just don't even conceive that it could.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it does. But in this game, more often than not, I mean, we did still have a dumb singleton penalty, but we
Mhm.
were able to, when we had them where we wanted them, we didn't just shoot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't know if he has the if Sheamus has the penalty yards that we gave up, but it was not great, but like definitely less than what it has been in the past. I mean, 6 for 60 yards. I mean, that's horrendous, but it's been worse. Like,
We've had double-digit penalties in like half our
yeah,
games, so I'll take 6 for 60, man.
yeah, that's bad. That's really
We were getting 6 for 60 on like both sides of the ball, like for
bad.
the start of the season. Just said screwing us every which way, but we figured it out.
Yeah, the worst part about being a Philly fan, I think Philly fan is what he meant to say, is people and
Yeah,
their uninformed and unintelligent takes. They can't all be smart like us. And that's very true. That's
I
very,
could
very
not
true.
agree more on April 29. We hear
Yeah.
so many people. I mean, you take when they talk about the Eagles, when they talk about the Sixers and the Ben Simmons situation, when they talk about things that require daily, intimate knowledge of those subjects, they often just come off as uninformed because they just don't have any fucking idea what's going on whatsoever. And then they hop in with a take because, oh, this is happening. Everyone's got to talk about it. Let me just talk about it. I have to say something. So let me just open my mouth and start to move it. And hopefully words come out. That's what half of the people at ESPN do on a daily basis. They don't even actually know how to feel about anything. So I'm just sick of like guys like Darius Slay getting disrespected just because the system they play in does not allow them to follow the top receiver, does not allow them to go and really ball hawk, because he really does have to hold his own in his zone. He can't just kind of, go after the ball. So it's frustrating. It's frustrating. And it makes me happy to see our guys do well in those situations.
I agree. Yeah. I got really hopefully against the Bucks. I mean, I don't know. They have to be disciplined against the Bucks. They have to be. That's going to be the biggest thing for the Eagles this week is the discipline and the lack of they need to have a lack of penalties this time around to go up against the reigning champs and Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the king of making you feel like an absolute loser because you're giving up penalties, and he'll just totally pick you apart. He's the king of it. I mean, he's the best quarterback ever. So it's his thing. And hopefully, I don't know how good their defense was good last year. I don't know how good their defense is this year. I know they had a pretty tight matchup against the Cowboys week 1, but apparently the Cowboys are good now, and I want to die. So I don't know. We'll see. The offense has to show up, and the defense has to play like they played this past week. And
absolutely, yeah. I mean, dude, the one advantage that we have, the one advantage that we do have, and this is the first time I'll ever say this probably. I think this might be the first time I've said this on the podcast or maybe just ever about a Philadelphia sports team. The advantage we have is our health. Our team's health right now.
I can't believe you just said that.
The only person on our injury report right now is Lane Johnson, and he's not even actually physically, he didn't break his leg. So everyone on the team is no. I mean, he's not on the injury report. He's just gone. He's just out.
Oh, okay.
But in terms of guys that could have been eligible to play in this game that weren't ruled out for the season or anything like that or put on IR day to day, they have Jason Pierre-Paul is questionable. They got Antonio Winfield is out with a concussion. Levante David, their linebacker, is out with an ankle. Gronk is out, which is huge. He's big. Brady's favorite red zone target. So, look, obviously, Tampa Bay is the favorite. The line has moved a half point since it was initially posted. It was +7 earlier today. Now it's at +6.5, and the money's on Tampa Bay. But obviously I'm a homer. I want us to win, but I do think that if we take this as an opportunity and we don't fuck it up and we don't squander it, we can kind of ambush them. We can ambush them. It's not so much a trap game. They're overlooking us as we're going to trap them. If that makes any sense.
Is this a famous Seamus G trap game for the Tampa Bay Bucks?
It's a reverse trap game. We're lying in wait for them. We're sitting there, or I guess it is just a normal trap. I don't know. Point is, they're fucked. Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, what's your score prediction for this week, Ryan?
My score prediction, I got to go Eagles 27, Bucks 23 on Thursday Night Football in South Philadelphia.
Okay.
How about you, Samuel?
I think that's pretty fair. I'm gonna go with Bucks 34, Eagles 27. I think it's gonna be a high-powered. Yeah, I did get that right. Okay, cool. I think it's gonna be a really really high-powered offensive game. I don't know that both defenses are ready for what's coming, so I think it's gonna be a pretty high-scoring game. And the defense, with the exception of this past week, have been giving up pretty much a lot of points. So we'll be okay. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't feel good about it, but obviously I want them to win. I want the Eagles to win. We have a Phillies we have a Philly podcast. This is what we do.
Yeah,
so I want them to win. But I just don't see them beating the reigning champs, man. And Tom Brady, come on.
No, yeah, no, I get that. I just have to ride and I definitely have this as a loss on my preseason list.
Yeah, on the
But I'm going to win.
Mhm.
Things change.
There you go.
This is a
Yeah, things do
momentum.
change.
This is a momentum builder, and I like a lot of people are disappointed about this, but I like the fact that the Eagles are not going with the black jerseys this Thursday night. I don't think we
They're
need
not.
it. I don't
They're
think we
not
need
going
it.
with them?
No, they're not. I don't think we need it. I think
Uh,
I think this is you haven't fucking earned it yet, maybe. I think go out and
yeah,
beat these
maybe.
guys. And then we'll wear it in a primetime game against the Giants and just absolutely smack them, probably.
Yeah,
Because that's what
I
I
think that would
like
be
that more. I like that more.
Mhm.
Because then
I
you don't
agree.
want to wear also you don't want to wear the black jerseys against too good an opponent, because then that might
Mhm,
sully the mystique. Be like, oh,
mhm.
dude, we're undefeated in them. But it's like, yeah, because we play the Giants in them every time.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
That's very, very
mm-hmm,
true. Hopefully,
mm-hmm.
who do they, never Ryan, I was just about to say something really, really dumb. So we'll just move on past it. The
Right
big
past it.
question, Unable 29 is asking again. The big question is, will Brady shake Jalen's hand after the game? I don't really. Is there beef? I don't really know if there is that.
Are
Is that
you a
a thing?
dumb?
Dude? I don't remember anything.
What are you talking about? Never shook Nick Foles' hand. Not in the
Oh,
Super
right, right,
Bowl.
right, 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 right,
Not
right.
when they played in Chicago. And the answer to this question is yes, he will shake Jalen's hand if the Buccaneers win. If they lose, he will go to the locker room like a sad little bitch and take his testosterone supplement pills because he has low
Yeah.
T,
I
much like Mike
totally
Trout.
that went right over my head because I wasn't thinking of Nick Foles. I was thinking of Brady versus versus. Oh my god! Oh gosh.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. We got a lot to talk about, Sam, outside of the Phillies. Fuck. No, outside of the Eagles. We'll get to it. TB12 has low T. Get that on a t-shirt.
I mean, he is like 50. To be fair, like
He is. It's
he's
not his fault. His body's in decline.
yeah.
He's a man in decline. Now that I say that, Tom's gonna find this clip somehow because he obviously trolls the internet for hate, and then he's
Mhm.
gonna show the whole team this. They're gonna be like, "Can you believe these guys said this?" And they're gonna be like,
Yeah,
"I can't believe you went and found this." Like, I can't.
he would have to do some serious, serious digging
Some serious digging
to get this tweet or whatever this clip. And you know
Oh
what? I
man!
hope he does. I hope he does find it.
And do you want to know what else I hope he does, and what else I hope everybody else in the audience does?
No, but I think I know what you're gonna say.
I hope they visit their website at www.wideblankfloorsupply.com because we're segueing right into the doghouse. Brought to you by Wide Plank Floor Supply. Visit their website at www.wideplankfloorsupply.com. Get a recommendation for a contractor. Get a quote. Wide Plank Floor Supply. If it's wide, they've got it. Boys, I love that you felt the segue coming. If you go back and you check the tape, Seamus G had the ticker up before I even started. That's how good the team chemistry is. That's the kind of level that we're operating on here at the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. Like, we could do this show in our sleep. As a matter of fact, we are. Now, Sam, a lot of people to be mad at in the world, but I understand that you have a bit of a sore spot against somebody. So please, who do you have in the doghouse this week?
I do. I have Nick Pivetta in the doghouse this week solely because he shoved for the Boston Red Sox.
Ridiculous.
And showed nuts like I've never seen before out of him. And that was something I was really, really sad to see. I mean, was I sad to see it? I mean, I guess I was like a little bit happy for him, but I was more pissed off than anything that he like finally found like his balls and like decided to like have his balls in his pants and like throw the baseball and like be an actual pitcher in a playoff game.
That is nice.
So
that is good for him.
That's great for him, but also fuck you, Nick. Like Nicky break. Yeah, see Nicky breakout.
Nicky breakout.
Out of here. I'm so pissed off about that.
Dude, what a find by the front office in Boston, I will say. Colby graduate at GM and a Philly guy as their president of baseball operations, actually.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Philly guy. I only just found that out. You know me, I'm not a baseball guy.
Uh-huh.
That was crazy. Went to school literally right around the corner, and I'm like,
I
damn
know.
you for turning Nick Pivetta
And
into a
my
star. You rat
and my
bastard.
coach, my college coach right now he's a Red Sox fan, and he's just being absolutely unbearable. Like,
Dude, how
man,
could you not be at the
yeah,
same time?
I
Like,
mean, we deserve it. We totally deserve it, and I hate
mm,
it, and I just want it makes me want to clean house even more in the
yeah.
front office. So
Sam and I are former Rays fans as well.
yeah, we
It's
former
over.
because they
The
lost
dream is dead.
as well.
No
I'm rooting for
Giants.
nobody anymore, which is awesome.
No
I'm not
Giants.
rooting
No
for the
Gabe
Giants.
Kapler. Not
No,
rooting for Gabe
nope.
Kapler.
I
No.
refuse. I refuse
Yeah,
because
dude.
it's 14 coaches on their coaching staff. It's not just fucking Gabe Kapler. So he
Dude,
can go
there's
kick.
no
He can
team
take his
left.
manager of the year. He can take his manager of the year award and go kick rocks.
Damn right. Dude, there's just no remaining baseball team that I would like to see win the World Series. Because it's what?
Oh.
It's Sox, Astros, and Dodgers. It's Braves versus Dodgers
Braves. Yeah, they're playing
versus
tonight.
Dodgers or Giants.
Yeah,
No, they're
they're
not.
playing tonight.
No,
You
they're
know what,
not.
Ryan? I do.
They're
As
not
much
playing
as I
tonight.
hate to say, oh, they're not playing. They're playing tomorrow
They're
night.
playing tomorrow.
As much as I hate to say it, I would like to see Freddie Freeman get a ring.
I would like to see you fucking choke and die.
I would like to see Freddie Freeman get a ring.
You're such a loser.
No,
oh my god!
Can you shut up for like 2 seconds?
Ben DiNucci's going to be the next Tony Romo, and I would like to see Freddie Freeman get a ring.
I would like
One
to
of the
see Freddie
dumbest
Freeman
fucking things you've ever said to me.
No,
And we
like
do this
Freddie
show
Freeman.
weekly.
I know, Ryan. Here's the thing: like he is a solid citizen, and yeah, Seamus, you can fuck right off as well. Get behind the glass, and I just like he's very good for baseball. He's a stand-up guy. I hate that he plays for the Braves. I hate that he's a Philly killer, but
okay.
he's just
That's
good for
that's what
baseball.
takes precedence. That's what takes precedence. Nobody cares about baseball. Baseball is going to be fine.
I care about baseball.
Baseball is going to be fine.
You think about? I don't care about what
baseball is going to be fine. Freddie Freeman is not growing the game right now. He's not.
He's not.
He's not at the. Okay, I'm not growing this podcast. We haven't gotten a new Twitter follower in a year and a half, so things are different.
I like Freddie Freeman. Sue me. Fuck.
I will. I'm gonna find a way to do that. I'm gonna find a way to pursue legal action against you.
You're the worst.
All right. Well, now, Sam, now I want to put you in the doghouse, but never mind, because I'm going to put another Liberty Line person. If I'm going to put one of the two leaders of the Liberty Line in the doghouse this week, I got to go with Drew Smith in the doghouse. This guy, man. I mean, he's a great business dude. Don't get me wrong, but when it comes down to his behavior on Twitter. Specifically the Ben Simmons, will they, won't they? It's like, are you guys gonna hook up or not? Like, I just need to know, like, what's the deal? Are you guys together? Are you broken up? Like, because right now with Ben Simmons coming back, you're like when my ex-girlfriend texted me like one time. I was just like, oh wow, showed up one time. I'm sure she'll be there forever. Wrong, Drew. She won't be. She'll be in Indiana in December with a bunch of other dudes.
Yeah.
Like 12 other dudes. All right, buddy.
I just did get I'm so sick of all this Ben, like, and especially from the TLL guys. I'm so James can go kick rocks. Oh my god, he might as well get on both knees for Ben Simmons right now. He is so the defending Ben Simmons on Twitter, like, that's unbelievable. Oh my god, we got a new follower on Twitter. Let's go. That's sick.
Woo! Unreal.
Yeah,
but yeah, dude,
rocks, right?
dude, the fucking Ben Simmons, like, oh, he's back, everything's fine, or like, hey, he's not back. I mean, he's in Philly, but he's not back.
No.
I mean, I've gotten coffee with an ex. That doesn't mean we're gonna go hook up after. No, it doesn't. If anything, it means the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So people are getting way too excited. They're talking about, like, oh, and I don't care if you're joking. I don't, honestly. I don't care if it's a bit, because it's not funny.
It's not.
It's not funny. And I know what's funny and what isn't funny.
It's sad.
I definitely know.
Yeah, you do know. It's
pathetic.
just sad.
It's pathetic.
Yeah.
I was talking to James in the chat today. And he was
God.
like, "Say what you will, man, but I've been loyal." I'm like, "Yeah, but you're like loyal, like a 50s housewife is loyal. It's loyalty born out of desperation more than anything else." And he was like,
bad,
"Man,
yeah.
he's like, I've been in this bitch. I'm Betty White." I'm like, "No, man, you're not Betty White. You're January Jones. Okay." That's who you are. That's who you are. And Ben Simmons is Don Draper. It's like he just got back from a month-long drunken bender where he disappeared. Now he's back. And now you're like, now you want to cook him a fruitcake and jerk him off? That's absurd.
Oh God. James, get the fuck out of here, man. You're not even listening. And you're getting absolutely rocked. Seamus, I would love for you to clip this whole thing and so we can just send it to James personally. Because I know he's not listening. Yeah.
I love at the start of app putting Drew in the doghouse, and then it's like, actually, no.
That's actually just James. Yeah.
It's actually just James. Really nice guy, James Brain.
Oh, that's so funny.
And that's going to do it for the Doghouse, brought to you by Wide Plank Floor Supply. Visit their website at www.wideplankfloorsupply.com. Get a recommendation for a contractor. Get a quote. Wide Plank Floor Supply. If it's wide, they've got it. Go visit their showroom and warehouse in King of Prussia. Floor to ceiling planks. Just wide as a plank could be without becoming just a... Do you guys do squares? Have we talked about this? Did you get a square?
You can, yeah. It's custom. It's
custom. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a different ask.
What do they call that? It's not squares, but there's like a herringbone.
Oh yeah,
that's tight. It's like the strips. And
that's what it's like in the Nets, or when the Barclays Center, at least when they first built it, that was the original design.
Yeah,
they still do it. It's fresh.
It is really cool. It's a pain for you. Ass.
You go talk to them though. They'll fucking set you up with the materials. They'll set you up with the guy to do it. Wide Plank Floor Supply. If it's wide or shaped like the bones of a herring, they've got it. I'm sure they've got other shapes as well. Don't ask me. I just do the ad reads that they give me to read that they wrote. And with that said, Sam, we got to talk a little bit about the Sixers, just a little bit about the Sixers, because the season is approaching. Is approaching. Ben Simmons is back in Philadelphia, and I guess we kind of already started our emotional reckoning with that. But like, dude, like, just so many people are like, I'm gonna boo him, or I'm not gonna boo him, or it's just like, dude, nobody gives a fuck what you do. Like, nobody fucking asks. So many, and maybe this is just me being on Twitter and just reading too many tweets, but just so many people talking about it, and I'm just like, what's changed though? He's just gonna stop getting fined, and we're still gonna trade him. He's not gonna play here. No. So really, why is everybody acting like the situation's changed? I'm a little less pissed at Ben Simmons now for, because he's being a man at least. And maybe he's even gone and defied Rich Paul, which, let's bear in mind, this guy's 25 years old. He's taking advice from one of the top agents in the NBA. You want to do that. You want to listen to what he's saying. So maybe this is a holdout that was Rich Paul driven, and then Ben folded and was like, no, I can't do this anymore. This is ridiculous. And we'll see what the locker room reaction is once he's back, because I know probably right now he's doing an individual workout in Camden before he can rejoin the team on Friday. So, I mean, not that I necessarily care, but Sam, how do you feel about Ben Simmons being back?
I am indifferent. I am as indifferent as it gets. I think the only reason he came back was just so that he could get his money, and I don't particularly like that in a player, so I don't really want him to play for us anymore. But I haven't. I mean, that's been true for 3 years now. So you've been done. Yeah. I don't like him at all. I think we can get something for him. I mean, I don't think he has zero value. I don't think he has zero value like some people think he does, like a lot of Ben Simmons haters do. I don't think that's true. He's a defensive player of the year. He's an all-star. Like, he's got value. It's maybe not as much as it should be, but he's got some value, and I think we can get some good stuff.
The value is tanked because everyone knows that he wants to leave, but it
Yeah.
can only tank so much because you get a 25-year-old three-time All-Star with 4 years left on his deal. So why would you not? I mean, even though obviously, there were issues in Philadelphia, those issues aren't going to be the same on every team. So I did see a report today that trade talks could really heat up in December, which is disgusting to even think about. Just like the fact that even it's that far away, but it is going to, as contenders start to, fall off, or as a team starts to panic and starts to think, oh my God, we need a guy like Ben Simmons here. And like they're saying in the chat, any small market team would be lucky to have Ben Simmons. Absolutely. That much time. And then after those 4 years, they can give him the most money possible. And if Ben Simmons is like the Ben Simmons that I know, if you are a 5 seed and you offer him a max contract and it's more than anyone else, even a 1 seed is offering, I think he's going to sign with you. I really do think he's going to sign with you. Unless it's the Lakers, unless it's one of the California teams, as they like to quote, because Ben, that's just kind of how Ben rolls. But at the same time, it is good to have him back in Philadelphia because it's going to accelerate this whole process. Him holding out and staying in LA was only going to make this uglier, lower his value, and just prolong the whole thing.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, man. I just want him out of here so bad. I'm so sick of looking at him, so sick of talking about him. I'm so ready to move on at this point. Give the ball to Maxey, let him develop this year. I have no idea how good the Sixers are going to be this year. That'll all depend on how good Joel Embiid is this year, because he's our big stud. He's a top 5 player in the NBA right now. And I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that they're a playoff caliber team right now?
The Sixers, yeah. I mean, the Sixers are a playoff team. I mean, you have 1 star in the NBA, you're a playoff team.
Sure.
Especially when you've got the quality of role players. I mean, still take a look at our starting 5. Ben's out. Say Ben's fucking gone. Nobody in return, which we will get. We will eventually get something and somebody in return for Ben Simmons. Who's our starting 5? Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Danny Green, Seth Curry, Tobias Harris. It's fucking fine. That's a basketball team. That's a basketball team. It's definitely a playoff team. It's the NBA. Like, you have to be so fucking bad to miss the playoffs. So bad to miss the playoffs. And you combine that with the fact that we are going to get guys back for Ben Simmons. I like the Brogdon, Karis LeVert,
I do. I like Brogdon. I love Brogdon.
Screw it. The rookie of the year that I despise that should have gone to Joel Embiid sits in his trophy cabinet. But unfortunately, that's the way it goes, and that's a guy that can play both guard positions effectively and create space for Joel Embiid, and actually let Joel Embiid play center for once in his fucking career. For once in his career, allow the best center in the NBA to play center. Allow the best center in the NBA to play center.
Imagine that.
Amazing. Think about this. Think about this. So Tyrese Maxey, we've seen his shooting. We've seen the shooting improve. I haven't watched really the preseason games at all because preseason basketball, like, what the fuck is that? But watching the clips and talking to Kevin, mostly watching the at Kevin McSee NBA,
Kevin McBasketball,
Kevin McBasketball Sports,
Kevin Sixers nowhere,
7 Mc beat reporter. My point is that Tyrese Maxey is really good and he can shoot. And take a look back to the playoffs. Take a look back to that Hawks series. What was one of the things that killed us the most when we did not have the basketball? Trae Young brings the ball up the court, either a floater or a lob to John Collins or Clint Capella.
Yep.
That wasn't ever going to happen with Ben Simmons. That wasn't ever going to happen with Ben Simmons. No. Because they would just literally, defender would be like, oh, cool. All right, I'm going to back up, and you're not going to shoot until you get right in front of me, and I know that. So Joel is effectively double covered. And people say, oh, Joel Embiid actually needs to roll in the pick and roll. And it's like, okay, well, then he would roll, and then Ben's man would just follow him, and then Ben would be stranded at the elbow. Like, the people searching to blame Joel, and they're searching for ways to poke holes in Joel. I know this is not what we were actually talking about, but it's just so frustrating. Just to defend Ben. Like that one dude, Lyle, Walk with Lyle. I found out that guy's like 40 or something. He's like a grown man. capping for Ben Simmons.
Yep.
Capping for Ben Simmons on social media. A grown man with a profile picture of Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
What a fucking loser. Like, at least when I capped for Ben Simmons, I had my face on it or a photo of John Kruk at least, not the person I was capping for. Like, or a photo of Paulie Walnuts. Not that. So, but this is a good team. Tyrese Maxey is going to be good. He's going to help this team tremendously on the offensive end, and I think that he has the motor and the work ethic to play defense. He's not going to lock down an entire basketball court like Ben Simmons from end to end. He's just never – that's not him. But he can do things that Ben Simmons can't do as well, and at a much higher level. So
you know who I forgot was on the Sixers? Drummond.
Oh, yeah, I always forget he's on the Sixers.
I forgot
Joel
he was on it, and I saw like a highlight, and I was
it's an act of nepotism from Joel Embiid hiring his own son to work at his company. It's crazy.
It's so funny. Yeah, and Matisse Thybulle, I mean, he'll be coming up off the bench, and we'll have we have a decent bench too. So
we've got a squad. Isaiah Joe is gonna get a lot of minutes, man. He's going to get a lot of minutes.
Paul Reed too.
Paul Reed's going to get his minutes. He's going to get his minutes. We have a better collection of size, I would say, than guards. At least to shoot. Yeah. So maybe Paul Reed will see less time than Isaiah Joe, at least to start. But I'm convinced those two guys, two of my three G League three Musketeers that are still on the team,
who's the third
are
guy?
gonna Rajon Tucker. I don't know if he's still on the team, but I just don't see him playing his way into rotational minutes at the same level as Paul Reed and Isaiah Joe. But those two guys are going to go out there and get buckets. They're going to go out there and they're going to perform when we need them to. And that's what I'm looking for here. I know Joel is going to be great. I know Tobias is going to be Tobias. And I know Danny Green. I mean, Danny Green's going to be streaky. Seth Curry is going to be like Steph, like once every like 4 games. And then, but what I'm really looking like, so a lot of this team, it's like the opposite of this Eagles team. From going into the season, this team was a lot of unknown. We have a lot of known quantities. We know what a lot of the Sixers team can do already. So it'll just be interesting to see what our young guys develop into. That, I mean, obviously we want to compete and we want to succeed now. So if that changes or this team really falters, then we'll have to start thinking about what the issues are. But I really am looking forward to see what the young guys do given the opportunities, especially if Ben is sitting out and we haven't traded him and that's just an open roster spot. Honestly, dude, what's so bad about having like a month of the season where we can just give guys rotational minutes because we just have room. We have extra room and we can do that and see what we have. Yeah. That's kind of amazing. It kind of sets us up nicely if we can move Ben and actually then get pieces and then make something happen.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, we're probably going to be like a 4 to 6 team.
Yeah, anyways. I don't see us. I don't see us doing anything particularly special unless we do something great with the Ben trade. Mm-hmm. Without Ben, just this team right now to me is like a 5, maybe a 4 or 5 seed.
Yeah.
But that's part of why I'm so interested in seeing how good these young guys are, because that's the only unknown quantity that we have. So if Isaiah Joe comes out like the second coming of Seth Curry, that's going to change the entire trajectory of this basketball team.
That's T, man. That's T. That's great. I was going to ask you, I mean, you kind of answered a little bit, but are you at all concerned that Joel Embiid isn't going to be as good as he was last year?
No, not really. I think just his ability now to lock in and just take care of his body will keep him from starting the year slowly. And I think that he's still going to be really good. I'm not too worried about that. I do still think that we have guys that can create and help him get open now. And I'm excited to see Joel Embiid for an extended period without Ben Simmons, because we honestly haven't seen that. We haven't really seen that recently. We've seen Ben Simmons without Joel for a lot of stretches. We saw maybe like a few games here and there. And we saw that one postseason series in the bubble where we got waxed by the Celtics because Ben Simmons was hurt. So it'll be interesting to see what Joel can do, where he is like, just give me the fucking ball, get out of the way. Like, and people are actually going to guard people at the 3-point line. it's gonna be a whole different dynamic on the court this season.
Awesome. I'm excited-ish. And you know how I feel about the NBA.
I know. But dude, right around the corner, we got literally what? When do we play? When do the Sixers play?
I have no
Do we
idea.
really play? Oh, wait, that's preseason. Wednesday, October 20th is our season opener. And the Flyers open up on Friday at home
Friday.
against who was it? Seamus G. Was it the Canadians?
Canucks.
The Canucks. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Both of those words literally mean the same thing. So they might as well merge. They might as well merge. But yeah, dude, Flyers start up. Liberty Yell is having a tailgate in lot F2, I want to say. So I'll spread the word about that.
On Friday?
On Friday.
What do you think about making a little appearance?
I'll be in the city. So I think
I'm going on fall break.
There.
I'm going on fall break, so I could
maybe we're making plans.
Yeah,
maybe we're making plans live on the air right now.
Yeah, maybe we're doing that. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe we'll see you guys there too. Who knows? I know.
I'm gonna be dropping off. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be dropping off my friend at the airport in Philly, anyways. So I might as well just swing on over.
Yes, Samuel. Yes. No, yeah, dude, it's gonna be great. Stump says you got a couple buddies driving up from like Maryland that are friends that just like the show, and they're gonna come watch the game. So it's gonna be a great time. Go check that out, and it's gonna be fun to watch some hockey. I mean, fun to have some Flyers hockey with a new look team. Obviously, it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna have all 4 sports going at once very, very soon. Very, very soon. All 4 major U.S. sports. So
yeah. It's about that time.
Stay tuned, folks. It's about to get crazy here at the libertyline.com and at the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. Sam, anything else you'd like to say for the people, or?
No, I was just going to do the sign off real quick. If that's cool.
Man. Let's fucking do it. I love it.
Thank you so much for everybody who tuned in. This has been the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. My name's Sam Glavin. You can follow me at SamGlavin06 along with my co-host at Ryan Conway76. Make sure to check out the libertyline.com. Buy a shirt. Buy one of those shirts. They're pretty freaking cool. I had a bunch of teammates of mine buy the tie-dye Liberty Line t-shirts, which is fresh, kind of cool. Those ones are pretty fresh. So yeah, definitely buy a shirt. Check out the Liberty Line on Twitter at Liberty Line PHL, at Wolves of Broadst on all social media platforms. And Seamus G, close us down, bud.